Joe, Notts Outlaws is new T20 captain. Congratulations first and foremost. Was there any hesitation when you had the conversation with Pete to accept it?
No, not at all. Obviously a huge honour. You know, to represent the club is one thing, but to be asked to lead this group in the T20 format, yeah, something that obviously was never something I could turn down. And yeah, the opportunity to lead the boys out on Friday nights here in front of a packed out crowd is, yeah, exciting times.
Does a new captain signify much change in the way the side will go about things? Clearly this side's had a lot of success in the last decade. Is there something sort of new to come, or what do you bring to the side potentially?
I don't think there's anything new. I think with the style of cricket we've been trying to play, you know, since I joined, Dan Christian, who was the captain then, and Steve, you know, there's always been a brand of cricket to go out there and be positive and to entertain, and that will be definitely something that I'll be wanting to continue, maybe with a slight few touches of my own. But yeah, I think you know, the group is a very talented group in this format, and yeah, I feel like, you know, we've underachieved the last couple of years, and yeah, hopefully I can lead the team back to finals days and you know, opportunities to lift trophies.
And you've played T20 cricket all around the world now. How much have you been able to learn personally from the captains that you've had here? You mentioned Dan Christian, Steve Mullaney, but also around the world as well, and sort of absorbing other people's styles.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been lucky to play under some high-profile international cricketers who have captained their countries and captained the teams that I've been a part of. And I think, you know, you definitely look and see what things they do well. But I think for me, I'll be trying to lead by example. You know, opening the batting with the way we want to try and play our cricket is entertaining, and I'll be trying to set the tone in terms of that. But I think we've got a good core of lads, and they know the style that we want to play, and it's just about going out and expressing themselves.
Well, speaking of styles of cricket, you've been here for 5 years now, and you've got a number of sort of personal and team highlights that we want to run quickly through. So if you open the phone up, we'll have a look at the first highlight.
That's up in the air, and that's gone for miles. That's going to go into the car park at the far end of the ground.
He's on strike, and he has hit it down the ground for 6 runs, so that will sting.
To Clarke, he's on 60. That's a big 6. That's coming past our window.
Notts need 3 to win, and Clarke's hit this down the ground. Now, will it go all the way for 6 runs? It will indeed. A century for Joe Clarke to win the match. Notts are home by 6 wickets, but Joe Clarke from 44 deliveries only.
The dulcet tones of Dave Pricegold. What sort of memories does it bring back to watch things like that?
Some nice commentary.
Yeah.
It's quite a weird one, really. I think that was almost the innings that changed my T20 career. My first year, the year before, opened the batting with Alex, and I don't think we both really had the seasons we'd have liked. Ended up missing out in the quarter-final here. I remember sitting down in the dugout thinking, geez, I wish I was out there batting. Chris Nash came in instead of me, and him and Alex walked off after chasing that score against Middlesex. And I remember thinking, geez, I've let my opportunity slip. I've not shown the true me in this format that I'd shown at my previous club. So going into that year with you know, other things that happened in terms of COVID, I knew when I came back and we had the short pre-season that I wanted to try and show the player I was. And that game, I remember thinking if I was gonna play, was given the nod to bat at 3. We had a practice game a few days before where I'd shown that, and I think yeah, I was ready to go, and pretty much from ball 1 I just felt like the ball was hitting the middle of the bat, to be honest. And yeah, I think that sets you up if you get, for your first game, if you get a score like that, it sets you up for the rest of the competition. And yeah, I think we went on to have a good competition that year.
Yeah, well, it was a very good competition, which brings us well onto highlight 2 now that we'll have a look at as well.
Leg side, he says 2. It goes for 4, and that will do nicely. 50 for Duckett, he won't worry about that. It's the Notts Outlaws, 2020 champions in 2020. They have absolutely thrashed thrashed Lancashire in the semi, and now they have thrashed Surrey. Brilliant performance.
So Notts Outlaws winning the Vitality Blast in 2020 there. That was your second trophy that you'd won, obviously your first at Notts. How much did it mean to collect silverware that year and having had the year that you had as well?
Yeah, I think it's quite weird looking back at that because you think of finals day and you think of the big crowd and the chance to go and celebrate with your supporters, and obviously that being behind closed door and see the lads there. I think I'm in there somewhere in the stand celebrating, and you see masks on and gloves and stuff like that. It's quite a weird feeling. But yeah, I generally think that we played with such confidence that year. We had a lot of guys in good form. We were led really well by Dan Christian. He turned up in the big moments in the semi-final and final. And yeah, I think we just knew, if I missed out or if Alex missed out, then Ben would get some. It seemed like everyone chipped in and everyone played their role. And yeah, great scenes obviously at the end, getting to lift that trophy, and it makes me excited at the prospect of potentially doing that for this club.
And that's good mate Ben Duckett as well, scoring the winning runs after a slightly challenging end to the 2019 campaign. I suppose as a captain as well, how important is it that you share in other people's successes in moments like that when you've overcome a little bit of adversity and come out better for it at the end?
I think we've got a good group. I think the coaching staff are good in terms of, obviously I remember being with Ben, I don't think he'll mind me saying, after the disappointment of the year before, the semi-final against Worcester, he was brought to tears, and that's obviously stuff not everyone gets to see, but for him to have that moment there, it just shows sport can turn and change, and in the space of a year, he's there at the end playing a crucial knock and hitting the win runs and getting to lift the trophy. So it just shows, whether you've had one bad game or two bad games, there's always an opportunity to go back out and put in a performance. So yeah, I'll certainly be trying to entrust that in the players going out and playing T20 cricket.
Let's have a look at a third personal highlight.
Glover into Clarke, who hits this one in the air, and that again will sail over the ropes. That made wicket for 6. To Clarke, who's on 41, make that 47. That's the biggest of his leg side blows. He hit one down the ground a little earlier. Here's Taylor in and bowls this one. There it is. And that's gone for 6, and that's 100 for Joe Clarke. And Dave Bracegirdle, you called it, and what a way to get it. 100 for Joe Clarke.
Your second T20 100 for the club in what felt like remarkable circumstances. You went from ball one and just seemed to carry on. Is that quite a nice blueprint almost for the way that you want your side to play in the coming years? Yeah,
definitely. I think that suits me as a player, and it's what's taken my T20 game to different parts of the world now in terms of this fearless approach. I definitely want us to be fearless, to be aggressive and take the game on, and that's been instilled since I joined Notts from Dan Christian. That's how he wanted us to play as a group, and I feel like that's how we played in that season in 2020 when we won the trophy. So the younger lads who weren't part of that group, who are coming in and will have more opportunities now, it will be definitely something that I'll be trying to instill in them, and hopefully there's some other boys putting in performance like that. And it's very special to get a T20 100. It doesn't come around often, and it's quite hard to get into. You see more and more people doing it now, but I still haven't got one here in front of our home crowd, so that's definitely something that's on the agenda.
And you mentioned there's going to be a couple of new faces in the side this year. Is that something you look forward to as well, welcoming those new guys in and I suppose trying to create an environment like that 2020 dressing room where there was real energy and atmosphere as well? Yeah,
definitely. I think we've got a good mix now. We've got a lot of lads who were part of that group, and we've got some new faces, some lads who had a taste of it last year. Obviously some new lads coming in from a different club, and I want them to quickly understand the brand of cricket we want to play, and the players that they are. I'm sure it'll take them not long at all to fit in and to hopefully succeed in doing that and have the trust from myself, from Pete, to go out and flourish.
Perfect. Joe, thank you very much. Congratulations again.
Cheers. Thank you.